But yeah, man. Don't worry, we're gonna put a notification out when we do the Patreon, so be looking out for that.
But before we start, please like and subscribe to our channel so we can get this content going. But without further ado,
Deadpool Wolverine.
Deadpool and Wolverine. But before we start, I just gotta say congratulations to Deadpool and Wolverine for passing $1 billion.
Yep. Only 2 other movies or MCU movies have done that, right?
For a long while since Spider-Man, yeah. For Spider-Man, I felt bad for Shang-Chi because it was so underrated because not a lot of people watching
Shang-Chi was good, yeah.
But it was fire. I'm like, I deeply love that movie. It should have been $1 billion, but not a lot of people know the character. But it was dope.
I mean, Shang-Chi to me is it's a stretch, but to me it's a better Iron Fist. Or at least the live action version, because I don't like the Netflix guy.
Yeah.
No hate on him. He did a better job in the second Iron Fist than the first one.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know.
But yeah, but with this movie, Deadpool and Wolverine, first off, there are so many. Matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen, you have plenty of time to see this movie. This is going to be a spoiler review and all that other stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But
2 weeks out already. Yeah, if you haven't seen it, it's either you're being cheap or you're just waiting for streaming. And we already know it takes at least 6 to 10 months before anything even comes out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure Marvel Disney is going to milk this at the movie theaters as much as possible because it is worth seeing at the movies.
Yes.
This is one of them.
This is one of them, and there were so many Easter eggs in that movie. There were like Easter eggs all over the place, and
yep.
I will flat out say this: one of the loudest theater reactions was one of the Avengers Endgame when Captain America was worthy. The entire theater roared. In Deadpool and Wolverine, the entire theater roared when
Wait. Which one's louder? Captain America's or Brie Larson's Captain Marvel getting socked?
It was Captain America's.
Really?
Yeah, in the theater that I went to, it was Captain America. People applaud. People were saying yes, cheer when Thanos power punched her, but the entire crowd erupted when we saw Captain America worthy, and then when you see Thor said, "I knew it." That was very loud, and Avengers Assemble. I don't think anybody would top that loudness in that moment.
Oh yeah.
I don't think anything will top that.
Yeah, I think it wasn't as loud when Captain America held Thor's hammer and the shield, saying, you know, everything that he did, but it was
Assemble, but Deadpool and Wolverine.
He's gonna say it. He's gonna say it.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna say it. Flame on.
That one was one. It's another loud crazy moment. Henry Cavill as Wolverine.
It was always supposed to be a thing. So, okay, so guys, for any of y'all that don't know, as far as Easter eggs wise, Ryan Reynolds went into the vault of people that were supposed to be that never happened or was mentioned about any type of person supposed to play a role. If you see something that looked like it was out of place, that's because it was supposed to happen. Ryan Reynolds just went all out. Every person that was supposed to be a Wolverine was in it.
And when we saw, when everybody saw him, when he turned around, he's like, finally. When he turned around, everybody was like, and that's what everybody. I was like, is that? I was like, and he's huge.
Now, a little bit of controversy. I don't know when it's going to come out, but apparently, Henry Cavill was actually supposed to have more airtime, and it didn't happen. But they did do a cross-reference, which I thought was so cool. So, not too many people know, but Henry Cavill was in one of the Mission Impossibles, if I'm correct. And he was kind of beefy, and he has this thing where he went, and then he like goes and boxes, and I think it's like fighting in a bathroom. He actually does that with the claws too, before he decks Deadpool, which was pretty cool. But
and another loud moment is the return of the one who basically created the MCU by technicality.
Blade was before Hulk?
Yeah. Blade was
Okay.
like who basically saved Marvel from bankruptcy.
Yeah.
When he showed up, the entire Wesley Snipes, the entire crowd went crazy, including myself.
Actually, I think my brain was WTFing from, I want to say, all the Wolverines, obviously. But once they actually went into the void, and I was just like, wait, Captain America's in there? And it's just like, no. And then as soon as you hear the words, it's like, so my brain just kept going like, oh my God. But while I was excited for Wesley Snipes, Channing Tatum is the one that surprised me the most. And then the voice.
He nailed it.
Yeah, I was just like
facial wise, even my brother.
I can't lie, I thought he got fat.
Yeah, but he's.
No, they showed his training regimen with the bow staff and everything. Oh man,
he's huge. And even when I watched it in the theaters, I was like, Channing Tatum, I said, you're a bit too muscular, big for Gambit right now.
Well, I mean, that is Magic Mike, so.
I was like, you're kind of too big for Gambit right now. And my brother's like, I'm not a fan of his face, but his Gambit accent, the Cajun accent, I said, you could tell he practiced that.
Because, and the funny thing is, since I'm from New Orleans, I was just like, damn it, the stereotype is too good. it was just too good.
I was like, he got it down. I was like, all right. And then I said, but let me see how he does action-wise.
The CGI was great. It was like when he kept messing with the cards, and when he would like throw it, and he made it seem like it was a flick, which I like more versus the over dramatized like throwing. And even during the action scenes, when he did this, I was just like, okay, perfect. They did it the right way. Kinetic energy here and there, and then he's able to explode it on command. I was just like,
he didn't do that in the cartoon. I was like, he got more broken than freaking in the cartoon.
Yeah. Now, here's a question. Jennifer Garner did good in her own movie, but were you excited as her being one of the cameos?
I was in shock. I was like, really? Elektra? A lot of people say, is Ben Affleck gonna be there? I was like, it's not gonna. I highly doubt.
Batfleck? No,
not that. Like as Daredevil, I'm like, I don't think so.
No. Again, he's only Batfleck. Marvel would be stupid to get rid of the Daredevil they have now.
Yes.
Like, you're not going to screw that up. And even though he was more featured in Netflix, in that horrible MCU She-Hulk, it wasn't his. He did a good job. So, and then they was going to bring him back with the red and yellow suit too. So, I really want to see what they're going to be doing with that. But I am curious. I've already been here ever since I watched the movie. I went on YouTube, looked up some stuff. You know how YouTube's algorithm works. And everybody is just like, okay, what is going on with them bringing these characters back? How are they going to tie in? We're on phase 6 right now, or going into phase 6, right?
Into phase 6.
So we already know what majority of phase 6 is going to be. The first one, well, this movie being one of them, but we got the Falcon, Captain America coming out. The Riri Williams Ironheart television show, Agatha television show, and I believe there's like 1 or 2 movies to round it off for phase 6. But I'm wondering phase 7, because Kevin Feige already said that because of certain things, phase 4 kind of doesn't exist. And I was just like, hold up, you can't get rid of Monica Rambeau. Like, you put her in an era where there's mutants. Is there a way to, like, because you got Deadpool mixed with now the TVA, is there any way now we can get her back? And I think they will with Battle World.
Yeah, they will.
But back to the movie. So here's a question for you. Do you feel like Cassandra Nova was a wasted OP character?
I feel she is.
Because,
She is.
like, as strong as she was God.
Yes, she was.
Now, I didn't see her resurrect anybody, but the stuff she was able to do, and to use a trope like, and guys, I'm sorry, I know we're bouncing around everywhere, but again, you're gonna have spoilers everywhere. The whole, oh, you have negative and positive energy, and it'll, disintegrate atoms. Cassandra Nova, by far, even in the comic books, far surpasses Deadpool and Wolverine. Maybe not Deadpool's healing factor, but the two of them to combine together versus her, and I was just like, wait, she was controlling it, she was warping reality, and then it came back, so it did a revert to disintegrate it? Like, I don't...
Yeah.
I was just like, okay, I'm confused on how that killed her because of the way it was. She could easily just took her hands out the stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, like, they could have just kept her in the void, or threw her back in there. I don't know. Like, Cassandra Nova is one of those characters where it's kind of like, if you have, like, if the MCU goes back into, like, cosmic stuff, they could have went back. And then you're calling her the sister of Charles Xavier. So you're already mentioning other X-Men besides Gambit. It's like...
Yeah.
But anyways,
and the fact that X-23 is there too.
Now X-23 brings about a different form of the X-Men, so I can't wait for Battle World to come out so they can kind of like just streamline it, because there's a lot of different groups that comes out of a lot of these. But
overall, I would say this was a fun movie. I would say definitely better than the second one. But for
again, you can't compare them.
But for the
because
first,
it's actually Deadpool. It's MCU 1. This is Deadpool MCU 1.
That's true.
So I will ask you this though, or I will say this, and you tell me if this is a hot take. A lot of people like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
I don't. Because I never liked the whole 21 Jump Street buddy because I've read the comics. Guardians of the Galaxy is actually dark. I think Guardians of the Galaxy would have did better if it would have had this rated R rating. Like, everything that this movie was, the Guardians of the Galaxy should have been. A lot of people are going to be like, no, it was great, Groot, Rocket, and everything. The movie is PG-13. They really couldn't show the type of violence and everything. Like, let's be totally honest. Gamora was loose. Star-Lord was loose. Drax the Destroyer was really Drax the Destroyer. Nothing against Batista, but not this funny satire, trope. It would have been so much better if they would have been able to do more action and I guess the violence, in my opinion, but they made it more of a family film. But I think from an action standpoint, the way Deadpool Wolverine played out, I think would have helped Guardians of the Galaxy a little bit more. Because did it not bother you when Thanos came to fight them? It felt like, why does it feel like kid gloves are off? Like they're punching with plushy Hulk fist. Thanos had Infinity Stones already.
Yeah, he did.
Like, but, it's all in the past. Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2, I did enjoy. I just felt like they could have did better with the comic continuity, with the violence, if it would have had the R rating. 3, I don't like as much.
He didn't like 3. I personally liked it because of Rocket's story. Because each and every character has their own story except for Rocket, basically.
But the thing about it is to go out on a last movie and you're pulling on heartstrings, and then towards the very end, it's not even with the other Guardians. It's like, hey, we're passing the torch, but Rocket is still a part of it. I hate to say it, but Guardians 3 wasted a good villain also. The High Evolutionary is a good villain.
Yeah, he was. But the reason why, the reason why I kind of feel like they did what they did, because a lot of those actors, they're leaving.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think this was Gamora's last movie. I'm like, Star-Lord, they say he will be back. Batista retired as Drax. I don't know if Karen Gillian gonna be back as Nebula. I don't know if she'll be back. A lot of those actors there.
Oh, and let's not forget they wasted one other character in there, a very strong character.
Which one?
Adam.
Oh
Wow.
yeah, well, oh yeah.
They wasted him hard. They made him into an idiot.
Yeah, they did.
Like, but again, it's about Deadpool, Wolverine. But unfortunately, a lot of these things tie in. Is just Marvel has been screwing up on a lot of movies for a while, in mass, and they finally got a win. This is definitely a win, especially with the box office numbers. I'm trying to think. I mean, the movie is about Deadpool. The story isn't strong. It's not supposed to be. It's satirical, but the band of Deadpools, Lady Pool, was it Baby Pool, Teen Pool, Flying Head Deadpool? Like,
there was a samurai one. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah. And my favorite one is that Good Looking Pool. Only one with no healing factor, but you got gold magnums.
Oh.
Like, oh man, I can't lie. Ryan Reynolds did himself dirty with that, and it was just like, you're gonna stay alive, and the amount of bullets that man took, and I was just like, okay, you should have been dead by now. Wait, Marvel logic, but he doesn't have a healing factor, and then it's kind of like, okay, screw this, blow his head off, like. Like,
how did you think when Hugh Jackman put on the Wolverine mask? How do you think the mask looked overall?
They actually did a good job. Definitely reminiscent. It's more. So here's the problem. So depending on what comic artist you look at, is definitely the '90s X-Men. Mm-hmm. But Wolverine with the yellow suit had short ones, medium ones, and then very long ones. That one was the medium one that I think most people are used to seeing. I thought that they were gonna like CGI and give him some longer, the longer one, but it was definitely good. But it wasn't hype. It was just like
oh, what?
Yeah, it was just like, oh, okay. I didn't realize he had it. But the one thing I wish that they would have did with that outfit is give him his blue shoulder paladins, or metal, whatever you want to call it. That was more important to me than the helmet. Like, he doesn't have the 3 or 4 black lines on the side either. It was just like, okay, it definitely is the yellow blue outfit, but it's missing some stuff. So if you want to give me classic 90s, I need the blue or black stripes, whichever one to go for. I think they was going for blue this time, right? Or was that black?
I think it was blue.
Blue. So mask should have been a little bit more blue. Gloves blue with the antimanium parts on it. The blue shoulder paladins and the blue stripes on the side. You would have gave me classic Fox and I believe X-Men '97 Wolverine. You know, but Hugh Jackman, I've always said this, because of Hugh Jackman, you will never have a sexier Wolverine, but you will never have another person to be able to play Wolverine. He's been playing it for so long. He did such an incredible job. And it seems like he's going to have more movies, God willing, maybe in the next 2 to 3 years we hear about the X-Men ones. But aren't Hugh and Ryan both pushing in their 50s already?
I think so.
So I'm wondering, a lot of things are going to be stunt doubles.
Oh yeah.
So, but, you know, I said it from the beginning and you held off on it. I want to know this rating, Power Trick.
I would say for some of the cons that we said, I would probably give it either a 4 out of 5 or 4.5 stars the highest.
4.5 would, let's see, because the hard thing is out of 5, so 20 points girl, that'll be 80. So you're giving it roughly like somewhere between like 89 to 93.
Around that.
If it's a 4.5. What's see, mine's a little bit harder. It's still high, but mine's a little bit harder even with some of the stuff is because everything that they showed wasn't bad. It's just not everything was just like, oh wow. It was an enjoyable movie, action-packed, funny the way Deadpool was supposed to be. It could be standalone. Like, the way I look at it is, guys, if you, like a lot of people was watching all the old Deadpools before watching this, even though I told people they're not connected, it felt like a movie that could tie in with his Fox movies, but at the same time, it could be a standalone to start the MCU Deadpool also. So Ryan Reynolds did a great job with that. A lot of the cameos were like I said, WTFs, and I was really happy about it. But there's some stuff that just lacked a punch, and unfortunately, just like Adam Warlock, Cassandra Nova was a wasted, overpowered character. So with that, mine's going to be out of a 10-point scale. I'm at 9.4, 9.5 out of 10. So it is a little bit higher than yours, even with some of the gripes. But even with the gripes, it wasn't a bad movie at all.
It wasn't bad. It was actually a good time, and even Steve, he's saying he went to see like the one in Daniel Point. He went to see where the seats were moving and all that other stuff. And he's like, he was like some of the stuff where he said the one part where Hugh Jackman's ad was showing something splashed into everybody. I I'm like, what?
Really? Okay.
I was like, oh man. I wish I could have paid more money for that, but
you want to pay money for bodily fluids? okay.
I was like, alright.
All right, but guys, that's what we say. We both give it high marks and high ratings. Definitely go and see the movie. It's worth going to the movies to see. Probably also buying and having part of your collection also. So, I can't lie. I was a subscriber for a very long time. I actually still have, if you look over there, a lot of my Game Informer magazines and everything else. It was connected to GameStop, part of their Power Up rewards, but they did a good job. Any game that was coming out, or any game that was already out, or if you want to know something about a developer, and the great thing is they even did fan-made artwork in it also. You had everything. You learned a lot about the industry, what was coming up, and everything else. So, I'm sure some effect of it is probably COVID. Other effects of it might be AI and ChatGPT. Other effects might be DEI hiring.
And the fact that people don't really read magazines no more.
Yeah, that because of social. So you could say internet technology and social media killed it. But I will say this: one part that is bad, because let's not act like Sweet Baby is new. DEI has been something for a while. It's more in the forefront now since people have names they can put to it. There's probably been something going on for maybe like the past 5 years, maybe even longer. So it is sad to see. It's kind of like all these little mini combinations came about to where a great magazine is
now
company is gone.
First it was Game Pro, then it was Play, and now Game Informer. Game Informer
is Nintendo Power still around?
Nintendo Power, I'm like, kind of, but I haven't seen it around so much. But like, Game Informer been there for over 30 years.
Yeah.
And now it's gone. And I'm just like, and it is sad because I still got the magazines, I still got the Play magazines, I still got the Game Pro magazines. And I'm just like, I ain't throwing these out because I'm like,
guys. So one day maybe we'll do like a commemoration. You don't have to bring yours because I'm sure I got way too many. And maybe we could just show off some of the front covers, show some of the artworks, because the one thing that was cool was, well, when you had to buy it in store, I remember just like a few premium magazines, they would come, you know, in the plastic, maybe came with something, but the Game Informers that came from GameStop, you can either pick one up if you didn't get yours. Sometimes you end up having duplicate copies. By accident, you get one to up front, but you would always get it in the mail. You get to sit there and you get to read it, almost like how the newspapers was, just for, you know, gaming nerds. But yeah, RIP to the late great.
Great game. Thank you for everything. Thanks for all the stuff that you read. Some of the stuff that we agree, some of the stuff that we disagree, that we want to debate on you guys. But thank y'all for everything. Hopefully you guys do like a little the founders or the creators, right? Hopefully you guys do like a little podcast, talk about what y'all gonna do next.
I can't lie, and you know, fans, developers, whoever gets to look at this that maybe has connections with them, you know, it's never too late. Yeah, Game Informer publishing might be gone as far as the journalism and everything else, but we live in a space of content creating. I would not like G4, but you know, maybe do your same content just online, so that this way people that still love y'all and regard y'all, you know, opinions and everything y'all did in the industry can still, you know, be informed about gaming, because there's not a lot of OG peers anymore to actually listen to, because it's so cluttered with just people and their opinions.
Yeah.
Let's get to the garbage. So do you just want me to go on? Mine's not really a tangent. I actually am taking a different approach with this movie. Guys, this movie is not the worst movie, but I will say this. For a video game movie, this is on par with Doom. The Rock's Doom. I started in a backwards order with the Borderlands games. I actually played pre-sequel first, and then I went to Borderlands 3 because of whatever reason. This movie does not really follow a storyline for Borderlands whatsoever. They gave you some iconic characters. That's about it. They did keep the satirical or the jokey side to it a little bit, but unfortunately the cast is more so the problem for me. I cannot see Kevin Hart anything action oriented ever again since Jumanji 1 and 2. So now here's the thing. They gave him some good choreography. Whoever his stunt double is, or maybe it's him, they did a good job. The guy that plays the Borderlands thug or whatever else, they made that man seem like Darkseid with the mask on. But this movie, if you don't look at this movie from a video game standpoint, it's a filler movie, something you can watch while maybe doing something else, like cleaning up, cooking. You don't pay attention to this movie. You can hear everything and be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Anyways, with that being said, I'm going to quickly give the review so I can give it to you. 4 out of 10. Doom and this movie is literally on par with each other. It's not the worst. The worst movie ever that I've ever seen is called Bug. So nothing's worse than Bug. This movie at least has a beginning and end. It got cheesy characters and one-liners, but this movie is still bad. It is below average a little bit. I only paid $5 to see it. I wish it would have been free. But yeah, 4 out of 10. But
I'm shocked. Stunned. It's unbelievable to me. I don't even know who these people are. This movie,
is.
huh?
You know who Lilith and Tina is.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm like, this movie is what happens when you order Guardians of the Galaxy and the Suicide Squad, but the good one, off of Wish. This, let me put it to you this way. I had told people, we know about video game movies. They have some good ones. They have some okay ones. And they have some bad ones.
They don't have some good ones. Okay.
They have some good video games.
No. Live action? We have none.
Sonic.
No, wait. I'm lying. The only live action is Gran Turismo. Sonic is technically a hybrid. So guys, I am an anal person when I talk about these things. So the best video game movie from a straight animation standpoint, by far, I will give it to Super Mario. Hybrid movie where you have CGI mixed with live people will be Sonic. A live action movie, we have none.
Gran Turismo is technically a biography. Well, it's
a biography. So here's the thing: if we're not going to consider it a live action, and we're going to consider it a biography because it's based off of real world stuff,
documentary.
Documentary. Then okay, even more so. We don't have a live action, and if we're going to consider that one a documentary,
yeah, because it's technically because Gran Turismo is technically a documentary because it is based on a true story. Basically, the guy who became a gamer became a racer. So I'm like, if you actually see it, it's great, no lie. But back to what I gotta say, I said I completely.
Who do you owe an apology to this time? Because you always say this.
I owe an apology to Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
No.
I owe apology to Mortal Kombat Annihilation, and to make matters worse, even one of my favorite reviews, Jeremy Johns, he even said I have to say the Street Fighter movie. He was like, they have
no, don't say it.
He said the Street Fighter movie had more charm than the Borderlands movie, and he said, and the craziest thing, he said it's off of that one line that Bison ever said. He said it's on a Tuesday. I laughed, but I'm like, but as I watched this movie, as I kept going, I'm like, one of the actors, the pink-haired woman. I forgot what's her actress name.
Oh, you talking about the older lady that was like the scientist?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She looked like she don't want to be in this movie.
100%.
So the way she acted, the way she did, she just want to get the hell out of this movie, and I could see the energy in this movie. And
you know what it is? Actors, because the lady that we're talking about is a prolific actor. I just can't remember her name at the moment.
It's not Jamie Lee Curtis. It's someone. No. It's someone else.
Here's the problem though. People know bad writing, but people also need a paycheck.
Yeah.
So she took this as a paycheck, like, oh, they got some prolific people. I might be able to get something out of this. This movie, for a video game movie, was low budget. Hold on.
It's $120 million. It's more money than a Mario movie, and it's bad.
But it looks low budget. That means that they put all the money into either advertising, because remember, the advertising cost is part of it, and CGI. And let's be totally honest, if they spent that much money on it, that means they could have made a Gundam movie, which technically we got in Sonic 2. So
the good Suicide Squad movie is cheaper than that. It's $100 million. The Borderlands 2 movie is 120 or 130.
Is it Kate Blanchett?
I think that's her. Yeah.
They don't wait. What was her? Jamie Lee Curtis was Tannis.
Yeah, but the pink haired woman, she looked like she do not want to be in that movie at all. Like she didn't want any part of it. She just wanted to get this thing over with. And I'm like, by looking at, I instantly said, and you know, there's not that many people in the movie. I said it out loud. She didn't want to be in this movie, and a few people laughed at it. What happened?
I'm looking at reviews.
Oh, you look at and the reason why I said I owe an apology to Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat Annihilation. This has never happened in movies before. Movies, all movies, they started off at 100%. This movie started at 0 at Rotten Tomatoes, IMDb. IMDb supposed to be 10 out of 10. IMDb started at a 2 out of 10. To make matters worse, those are, mind you, those scores are lower than the Street Fighter movie. Those scores are lower than Mortal Kombat Annihilation. That score was lower than all 3 Tomb Raiders and the Legend of Chun-Li movie. That's how bad
here's
this
the
movie
thing.
is.
All those live action movies that you're talking about, because they chose not to follow source material to a nice degree, let's be totally honest, Street Fighter is cheesy goodness. All those movies are probably 6 out of 10s. I'm still waiting for the 8 or 9, the mystical unicorn that will never happen. But let me just get to this real quick. Let me interrupt you for a second, because remember when I said you have to turn your brain off for this movie? Like, if you don't look at the movie for continuity from the games, these make sense. So a first review says that's a 3 out of 5 stars. Enjoy being dry on a rainy day. Thanks T-Mobile for the $5 ticket. It doesn't even have nothing to do with the movie. So it's a rainy day. Hey, I can just go and just turn. Here's another one. A 1 out of 5 star. One of, if not the worst movies of all time. Again, nothing's worse than Bug, but this is on par with Doom. Doom and this movie are the 2 worst live action video game adaptations I've ever seen. All the other ones you talked about are way higher. 5, 6, maybe even 6.5. None of them reach 7. But here's one that makes sense if you know nothing about the game. Because based off the way this was read, right? The movie was overall really good, and I enjoyed watching all the fast-paced action scenes along with the comedy. The comedy isn't too crazy, but it's enough to make you laugh inside your head. I just wish the pacing and the story was a bit better for this movie, but overall, from someone who hasn't played the games, the movie was worth watching. Which, that makes sense, because if you don't look at the continuity, the game is average. But she gave a 4 out of 5, which is being generous. Now here's a great one. I got 2 great ones, and these are going to be the last 2. 2 out of 5 stars. The movie is fine under the condition you leave your brain at the door. Just come to be entertained. Feel free also leave any level of logic at the door. If you do that, the movie isn't half bad. It's just a meh. But on the flip side, had this movie been released 25 years ago, it would be a beloved hit anyways. It's still worth a watch. 100% agree. Because
this exists in the 90s?
Yeah. Because, again, if you turn your brain off and take logic out, even if you know... Once he said take logic out, that means you can't think about the video games. This person's played the games. But, again, 2 out of 5 star. Now, a 1-star review. 2 of them, because one of them is short. Borderlands was desperately trying to appeal to the fans and neutral moviegoers, and as a result, appeals to nobody. If you love the games, you will hate this. It slaughters the original writing and story. This doesn't even have the decency to be bad. That it's funny. It's just so bad that it's depressing. And then the other one, generic action film. I was so bored I walked out. First movie I've ever walked out of.
That says a lot. But
yeah.
I would say this is one of the worst movies of this year.
By far. No, wait. No. Wait. One of the worst.
One of the worst movies.
But there is one other movie that I didn't go see that I wanted to. I'm just going to mention it to y'all. Quiet Place, Day One. Every review is bad. But I'll talk about that a little bit later. But back to trash.
What was your score? You gave it a 4 out of 10?
Yeah.
I gave it a 1 out of 5.
It is not that bad.
Look, it's just...
It is not... Go watch Bug.
I didn't watch that movie.
So, from a reference point, this movie is still able to be enjoyed. Whether you're high, drunk, or just turning your brain off and leaving logic at the door.
You need to be drunk as hell in order to...
Bug, Bug is the movie I wasted life on. There's no movie worse
the
than
only
Bug.
upside for Borderlands is one that you only spend $5, and two is the fact that it's 90 minutes long.
142. Well, an hour and 42 minutes, actually.
Hour 42 minutes, so take away. So basically, it's 100 minutes.
Yeah. I didn't even stay to see if they had post-credit scenes.
Me
I
neither,
walked
but
straight out.
The movie theater, it was so. I told people it was so empty. You could play Uno in a stairwell. You could have your own video game tournament inside, or hell, a Dragon Ball Z fight. 2 Dragon Ball Z characters will just show up out of nowhere and just slug it out inside that movie theater.
So here's the worst thing, right? I think it was like 37 minutes in, I started being on my phone. I was paying attention, but at the same time I wasn't, because I was just like, what is this mess? There was a few times I got like a little, and then that was it.
And that was like,
But and there's no. Here's the thing, guys. This movie isn't even worth spoiling.
no, it's not.
Watch it for free. If you want something, if you want to be high, have the munchies, and maybe just enjoy some trash with friends, because some people do have trash movie nights sometimes.
Yes, they do.
Download the movie, pirate it. 125 million. 125 million.
To make this movie.
Nah, there's just absolutely no way.
I don't know.
It was 100 million spent on advertisement,
Probably.
or was 100 million spent on giving actors of some type of pedigree?
It had to be something, because how can a movie this bad be cheaper than the Suicide Squad movie? The Suicide Squad movie is cheaper than that.
And the funny thing is the first one I actually like, but the second one was far better.
Far better. It was $100 million to make, and the Suicide Squad made 100 because of the fact that one, it released during COVID, and two, the producer was basically an Amber Heard fan. But anyway, and that's why I made that much money when it rightfully should have been over 500 million. But it is what it is.
Yeah. So
overall, save your money. Don't even. What the T-Mobile Tuesday? You're the MVP.
You want to give a better rating, because it's not a 1 out of 5.
A bunch of them give it a 1 out of 5. 1.5. 1.5.
I am going to strap you to a chair and make you watch Bug. And I
Oh,
guarantee you are going to feel paranoid as hell after watching. You're going to be like, where am I? Am I in the Twilight Zone? I think I lost IQ points. Okay, so on to the next topic.
Enough about that garbage movie.
Yeah, on to the next topic, and it's actually our last topic, guys, at least for this portion of the podcast. Like I said, we're going to be doing some Patreon content, since we're actually trying to get that started, but we just want to make sure we have enough stuff that y'all can all enjoy right off the bat. Punk and Minna eliminated from EWC.
And that's not the crazier part. The grand finals happened a few hours earlier. Bison won.
Not surprising. Bison's broken.
But everybody said, "Oh, that's not surprising. Bison's broken." I said, "Yeah, he's broken offensively. Defensively, he's trash.
Yeah,
he's bad on defense." And the crazier part, he fought an Akuma player. You know how broken Akuma is.
Oh, the two most broken characters in the game. Options and offense galore.
I was like, you had one of the two most broken characters in the game. One has offense but has bad defensive issues. One has good offense but one has basically bad health. It's basically that happened. And what made it so crazy, Minna and Punk got eliminated. After everybody made fun of Punk when he got eliminated. I commented on them. I was like, I would like to see you guys win CEO and Evo in the same year. I say those guys that he fought had competed for, because the EWC has a bigger prize pool, so you already know.
It's because they did it as teams too. It's $1 million to the winner, but then there's a group one also that's $7 million.
Yes.
So, but here's the thing, right? Punk apparently did say in some tweets that he was feeling kind of off. Here's the thing: this man has been traveling ever since CEO.
Yeah.
So who's to say the buildup of jet lag? You're constantly you're playing high quality tournament, high quality talent constantly. You could be tired, mental fatigue. It probably just stacked up, and then on top of that, the brackets don't help. I mean, if I'm correct, I watched one not too long ago. Was Daigo on that one also? Because I was watching one not too long ago where Daigo looked like this man was going to sleep, or he just woke up from a nap, like he didn't know where he was, like delirious. Yeah. I don't know if it was the same one, but these players, like, I can't lie, with the large majors, these need to be spread out a little bit, a little bit more. At least like the beginning or the end of every month, or in the middle of the week of every month. Give people at least like 3 weeks to a month to like not only try to save some money, time off, but at least recuperate. Because
Evo happened, and I think it was like a week or 2 weeks that EWC. I'm like, that is not.
Yeah.
Because at least with CEO you have a month, but that soon, like a week or two. And people want to make fun of making fun of Mena, people making fun of Punk, and all these other great players saying that they say you want Evo, you want CEO, and they didn't make it. They said, and I just told them. I replied to something. I said, come back to me when you win CEO. Come back to me when you win Evo. Come back to me when you win Combo Breaker. Come back to me when you win
we already know if you live online, you got to have thick skin because there's nothing but trolls and everything else. And nothing you can do about that. But it is one of those things of Punk brought Evo back to America.
Mm-hmm.
Punk brought CEO back to America.
Mm-hmm.
Mena is technically a NA representative and everything else, even though he represents his country also. It's just one of those things that it just goes to show how much talent there is. Now, Justin Wong was over there to commentate with somebody else, and even he said 2 out of his 3 people were knocked out, and it was surprising, but at the same time, everybody there is a killer. Like, I say it all the time. If you look at how many people on Street Fighter 6 is in master rank, and then maybe add like 100 more people, there's a lot of people that technically could win some of these majors, and probably due to personal reasons you don't get to see all of them, but you can consistently see some of the people that are always there. Tokido, Daigo, Mena, Punk, the new one is Lashar, we now got Nephew, another new one is Noah the Prophet. We got a lot of people. Yeah, the Birds. We have a lot of people. Kakadu. We have a lot of people that are consistently staying on the top. And they're there because they're the ones that's the most consistent. But eventually you break. Yeah. And when you're constantly playing high-level people all the time and you got that mental strain, it's going to happen.
Yes.
But still, shout-outs to Punk. Shout-outs to Mena. The 2 people that made it the furthest was, I think, Nephew and Dual Kevin, right?
Yeah.
So shout outs to them for making it as far. Do you know who the grand finals was? Because I didn't get a chance to watch that.
I forgot their names, but all I know it was Bison versus Akuma. I think it was the one who played King of Fighters and Evo who won this one.
That is really.
And the crazy part, Punk called him out recently, and then Punk just I guess he awakened him. He went Bison. He won EWC.
Wait, you talking about the one that Punk had beef with? That was Shanghai.
There you go, that's him.
Really?
Shanghai won.
Oh wow.
He won King of Fighters and Evo, and now he won EWC.
See, that's
he woke him up.
That's a what's the funny thing? That's an interesting rivalry because EWC is large by far. It's just a bigger prize pool. I won't say it's more important or prolific than CEO or Evo, but Punk winning those 2, having beef with Shanghai, but Shanghai wins this one. Honestly, the only flex you have is the more money you made, which to some people is a big flex, but it's 1 versus 2 world. Well, CEO could be considered a world major because people internationally do go over there.
Yeah, international people do.
So, you know, yeah. But I mean, regardless,
but yeah,
we have another year of tournaments, smaller ones and majors that are going to be coming up. So hopefully we get to see how strong Mena becomes, because he did say he trained in Japan.
Yeah.
We didn't really get to see that showcase from what I understand, because all of his footage that we know of was with Zangief, but apparently he did train with like Luke Blanca with some different setups, so he's going to have time to lab that out. Punk's still making Camby seem strong as ever, so we got to see if he can bring anything else to the table outside of that good neutral that he always plays. Punk
also uses Akuma, if you remember CEO.
Punk uses everybody. The problem is that every person that's a pro player that can pretty much win these majors, they say that you need to have at least two competent people. One person that is, or two people that is good, but one to go to as a counter, depending on who it is. Punk, Mena, and all these other people got like 6-7 people. They almost got the whole roster. It's just, you know, who fits the bill? Are you comfortable with them? Is it a smart choice? You know, the mental stack.
Yeah, but I say this, when my CEO happened, when Punk won, I forgot who he fought against, but he picked, the other player picked JP. The moment I saw Punk pick Akuma, I had instantly said, JP, you need to change your character right now. And people started like, I said, JP, you need to get out of there. I said, because you're gonna get smoked, because that's one of the worst matchups you were ever gonna have. And he stick.
Well, JC got nerfed too, so
yeah, he got nerfed. But I'm like, but that's still, he's one of the worst matchups. I said, you need to get out of there now. He stick with them. He tried to tough it out, but he got reset and he lost.
Yep. But guys, that's all we have this time for the podcast. We're going to do a little bit more recording again. That's it for this. We're going to wrap this up. Definitely like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell for notifications so when we have more stuff coming out. Again, we're trying to do the content right now before we put the Patreon out. Power Trick, if you didn't notice, he's actually the graphic designer outside of being my co-host. So if there's anybody out there that wants to help us, that knows how to do video editing, you know, definitely hit us up, hit up Power Trick, and see what we can discuss as, as far as what can happen with it. But
this is Power Trick signing off.
GN Invasion.
Peace out.
Peace, guys.